So this is Are You With Me Right Now? Episode 15. Hello to
Right
your
now.
therapist edition.
Hello to my therapist. Now we got both of them in on it. Joining the party, we got our ASMR going on.
So this is kind of strange because one of the topics you want to bring up is your therapist.
True. I mean, I don't know that I really want to go in depth about it, but
I mean, I'd like to just to get it off my chest, I guess, and be done with it. Apparently, I bring it up more than I realize.
yes. Yeah, you bring it up a lot, so I guess it would be nice to just...
So we've been through the episode where your therapist accused me of being a shitty dad because I use drugs.
Oh, that. Okay, I thought you just meant the comment he made.
Well, and then that too. So this was like a couple days before I went to go meet him, right? So I meet him, and like the very first thing he has to say to me is like, yeah, now you can see, I'm a married guy. I'm not. I don't know. I forget what else he said. He was married. That was one of the qualifiers, for not messing around on, with you. I guess I don't know. It was just a very odd introduction. Like, hi, like, thanks for coming to look me in the face and shake my hand. I'm a married guy. I'm not screwing your girlfriend. And I'm like, what? It just threw me off because that's not why I was there. Like, I was there for him to kind of like get a better scope of like how we interact personally, like our relationship. I mean, this wasn't for me to like assess your therapist and see what a sleaze he was. Like, so when he comes out of the gate with that, like, it completely changes my mindset on the entire ordeal.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Ordeal?
The ordeal, yeah. Like if my therapist, if the first thing she said to you was, "Hey, I'm not fucking your boyfriend," well, I mean, tell me that wouldn't skew your opinion of this person.
It would. I think I'm defending him because I know why he said it. Because he sent me a meme like a while ago that made you be like, that's kind of fucking creepy.
You agreed with me.
I guess I thought it was kind of strange. That's why I told him later. I'm like, don't send me that stuff. Or like, that one was a little bit over the line.
I forget what
But
it was. I don't remember.
I like vaguely do, but not really. And I think I got a new phone. So it might not even be in that phone anymore, in this phone. But it was something or other. And he remembers that like kind of set you on edge a little bit. Not even if that's the word you would use, whatever. But like, I told him that, like, yeah, it was kind of weird. Like, let's not send that again or whatever. And he was like, oh, I think he just remembered that stuck out as strange to you.
Oh, I guess I have no recollection of this at all.
Okay. Well, you tend to let things go pretty much immediately. So,
Yeah.
and my therapist is an adult child, and as am I. So we remember these things.
All right. Well, I mean, fair enough. I mean,
he wasn't just like trying to be weird. I don't know. That's why I'm defending him, because like I told him that you've been bringing that up a whole lot because I've been noticing it, and I talk about things in therapy. And yeah, he said that he said that because of that.
Okay. I guess that, okay. Well, that just made it weirder.
Why? I mean, fair or whatever, but why?
I think I've already explained that, right?
Well, why would that make it weirder?
Like, that's not really like socially appropriate to like approach somebody and be like, "Hi, I'm not fucking your girlfriend." That's just like, I don't know how else to say that.
All right.
Yeah.
I think I just wanted to tell you that, like, you say it really, really often, and I can't change the fact that he said it. And it makes me feel like really embarrassed when you say that. There's nothing really that I can do about him saying that. He already said it, and his words aren't really my responsibility also.
Right.
So I don't really know what to say when you say that. Like, and I can't do anything about it. Like, it's already done. So I'd rather kind of just let it go. I don't know. I guess when things get brought up like over and over, I tend to feel like I need to take responsibility for them. And like, I can't change that interaction already happened, that you have the feelings that you have about that.
Right.
I tend to just get uncomfortable. Like, I can't really do anything about it, but it makes me uncomfortable. Like,
okay.
I feel like I need to take charge of that. And there's nothing I can do about it.
All right. I mean, I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm not accusing him of anything. It's just, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think there's anything going on there, but.
I mean, there's not.
Right. I know. Anybody who would approach me and say that, I would just automatically tag them as sleazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a sleazy thing to say.
Yeah.
But, within the context of, like, if he already thought that I had something against him in that sort of way, then, I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, maybe that's the way to approach it. To just kind of be forward about it, I guess. But I didn't realize that until you just said it. Like, I don't remember him sending you a creepy meme. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all right. I'll try and drop it. It's because, yeah, I honestly don't think there's a relationship there.
No, there's not.
But, I mean, I'll admit he seems like a sleazy guy now that he's made this comment to me. So I apologize if that's overly judgmental.
I don't know. I mean, you're allowed to feel whatever you want about it. I just can't do anything about the fact that, like, people can't always say the right thing at the right time.
Sure.
So, like, I don't know. It makes me feel like I'm responsible for it when we keep talking about it because I'm the one who's hearing it over and over.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know how to fix that. I mean, what do you suggest? I just drop it.
What do we fix? What?
I guess I'm bringing this up a lot, and it's subconscious apparently. I mean, I feel like I've brought it up a couple times. I guess
you bring it up like whenever I mention my therapist.
Oh, well, okay.
Like ever.
Could be.
Or you could say, "Oh, okay, maybe you're right." I'm not like making it up,
right? But sorry, that's what I. Okay.
So I could be whatever. I'm
could
being
be
touchy.
Okay. Hey. Hey.
What?
Whew. Hey.
Hi.
Chill.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too. This is kind of leading to other things in my mind already, so I'm a little wound up.
Okay. We can go there too if you want.
Ah.
I mean, we can. I
think it's a thoroughly bad idea, but like, okay. We can't just not talk about it ever.
All right. We'll go. Because, I mean, all right, so that's fine. I mean, I can work towards, like, dropping that because, I honestly don't think there's a relationship
I think, like,
there.
if you're bringing it up a lot, like, what's the underlying feeling? Is there a hurt there? Is there a distrust there? Or is it just, like, something kind of funny that you want to harp on? I think, like, I just want to know why you keep bringing it up or, like, what is driving you to keep that alive? And there's no, like, right or wrong answer. Just there has to be something if you keep bringing it up.
Right. I mean, I think kind of funny that I want to harp on probably best describes it.
Okay.
Just like...
Because I know that's who you are, too.
Yeah, it's just easy for me to, like, make jokes about things. That's just how I normally process things.
Okay. Well, yeah. I guess now you're aware that you're saying it a lot.
Yeah, fair enough. I love you. I'm sorry.
I love you, too.
So does this segue into something worse?
Yeah, except I really don't want it to because I'm just going to, like, ruin my relationship. But, sometimes, whatever.
What do you mean?
I want to bring up what happened the other night, which was the worst.
What happened the other night?
We got drunk and had a whole fight.
Oh. Have we not podcasted since then?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do they, what do they call that?
What?
This is our post-fight press conference.
Are we going to make a public statement?
Yep.
Okay. Finally. It's about time.
Yep. Who won?
No one. Nobody won that.
Oh. Well,
I don't think anyone came out on top.
Next time, I'm gonna beat you up. I don't watch UFC. Sorry, I don't know how those things go.
I also don't watch UFC. I didn't even know you were making a reference to that.
Next time I see you in the ring, I'm gonna win because that's what fights are about. Is about winning.
Oh my god. I mean, I'm probably going to keep losing, because I have mental problems.
That's not fair.
Probably not.
This has been your Are You With Me Right Now post-fight press conference, brought to you by
self-loathing.
Self-loathing.
And probably gin and grapefruit juice.
Ginger ale.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
Go for it. I'm
No, I fucking hate this issue. Like, I just cried in therapy. Like, I feel so defeated by this tiny issue. It's not even tiny, whatever, but I truly and honestly hated that whole situation. I feel like it was just the breakdown of something bigger, and I don't understand why it happened.
Wait. Start from the beginning, because I'm confused, so I know our listeners are confused.
Okay. So we went out on whatever day that was, I guess Friday.
Yes.
And we went out drinking. It was really fun. I drank too much, which is a whole fact, and which I'm not going to do anymore. Because people with mood disorders, well, me specifically with a mood disorder, doesn't really need to be fucking their shit up with mood altering stuff. So we're going to keep my drinking to under 3 at all times. But I came over and we went out to a few different bars and just kind of ran around town, and drank and hung out, which was really fun. Like, we saw a lot of people that you know. And I got to meet some people that you used to work with and whatever. It was just a chill night out. And we were sitting at a restaurant. I think like the first one we went to. I was too in to keep track. And we were just fucking around, whatever. And you looked behind me and said that, like, oh, that girl over there, tell me if this is inappropriate, but that girl over there, I used to have a huge crush on her. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, that's not inappropriate, whatever. Having a crush on someone in the past isn't, like, whatever, same. And I was making a joke about her kid because he was asleep on the chair, and after 3 drinks, I was about asleep on the chair. And then we hopped around to a couple more bars, and at the next one, he said, okay, so tell me if this is inappropriate, but the girl a few seats down from you is really cute, or the blonde, whatever. And I did not like that at all. I got avoidant because that's what I do when I get hurt. And then we went home to go like talk about it. I was drunk. I was BPD as fuck. You were upset at me. Or like you were mad that I wasn't okay with that. Maybe mad's not the right word. I distort feelings because #BPD. Or I'm more likely to think that someone is like angry or very upset based on smaller cues because abuse. But I took it as like you were upset at me for not being okay with you saying that. And from what I remember, your reasoning was like, I had a feeling, I wanted to share it with you. And if you don't want me to share my feelings with you, then fine, I'll just be disingenuous and like keep them to myself. And I do recall that you told me that I hate you in that conversation. And I just lost it then. Like, I just cried. I was just done.
I told you that I hate you?
You told me that I hate you. And that I react to you because I hate you.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yep.
That was probably alcohol fueled. But that statement was like a culmination of like, I just feel very disapproved of recently. Like you're having to make like these very like overwhelming personal sacrifices, like just to continue a relationship with me.
I really wish that you wouldn't focus on that as opposed to the fact that I am making them because I want to be with you. Because our last podcast was really good, where I laid out exactly what would help for me to move towards being all right with sharing a room with you while you're tripping. I thought about it. I gave you real responses, and I know what's going to help, and I'm willing to do it. So why is that less of a priority here? Like, we made progress.
We did. I don't feel like it's less of a priority.
I do. Because if you feel so disapproved of, like, I'm making moves to approve of it.
Yeah.
So why doesn't that matter?
Well, it does. I mean, it does. It really does. I think my point is just that, like, now there seems to be another something that you don't approve of.
What is that something?
I guess it's just my word vomit. I have a thought. Here it comes out of my mouth. Everybody look out.
I don't really think there's much of anyone that would go for their boyfriend telling them someone across the bar is cute.
I disagree.
Unless that was like a kink that you've agreed upon, which it is not.
Okay.
For us. Do you want it to be?
I mean, not if it has to be like no.
What?
That just makes it seem very like cold and contractual, as opposed to like, I mean, if it's like, look, if you didn't appreciate the statement, I mean, then that's fine. I just won't make it again. I can do that. It's fine.
If it were fine, we wouldn't have yelled about it.
But it is. I disagree. Alcohol was involved, so that expanded the emotions there. So I disagree that under no circumstances would we have not yelled about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because really, my whole effort in that conversation, whatever you want to call it, was like, I wanted to know what you wanted out of saying that. Was there a goal? Like, and you brought up my sexuality and how you thought that would like affect how I reacted to it. I truly and honestly want to know, like, what would you want from that situation? What were you hoping for? Was there a goal? Were you just saying things? Like, I want to understand.
No, it was just a thought in my head. Hey, that blonde at the other bar is kind of cute. Yeah, she is. No, she isn't. I really don't appreciate that statement. Whatever. And the response I got was, I really don't appreciate that statement. So, okay.
It wasn't okay, though. You came at me with, like, I don't make you feel safe expressing your feelings.
That's fine. I think we can discard large parts of that argument, though.
No, I disagree. I don't think alcohol makes you a different person. I think it brings out what's already there.
Yeah, but at the same time, I felt like you were really digging for something deeper. And I think at some point I just started coming up with things to answer your questions. But the original, I mean, there was nothing deeper than just like, I mean, like I would like any of my friends, like, hey, that girl's cute, you know, I don't do that like now that I have a relationship with you, but I suppose that's like, I don't know. I guess that was just going to be like making that. So like, I don't do that with my friends anymore. Like I don't really have a need to, but I don't know. It was just like a spur of the moment thing. I don't know. It really wasn't that deep. You're trying to really assign something really deep to just a male thought process. It's not deep. Is this making you uncomfortable?
Yes.
Why?
I'm hurt.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I wasn't trying to.
I know. I'm hurt because you're telling me like I'm just fucking making it up, and like, yeah, you didn't mean anything by it, but I'm not allowed to take anything out of it. Like that affected me, and that's not just me being a psycho, which you haven't called me a psycho, but I'm not just whatever. I don't find it very considerate when you say like, we're just making something out of nothing. Because that's another theme recently is that I'm just assigning way too much meaning to stuff. But I think that I think that's a way for you to underestimate the power that your words have in a relationship. And really looking across the bar and saying that girl's cute is very avoidant.
Okay, fair enough. I guess so. Like, sorry. So like, this was something that was completely okay in a different relationship that I had. Honestly, it was just a jerk reaction kind of thing. I mean, I didn't even think about it. I just said it. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying your feelings on the matter don't matter. I'm just saying you are trying to assign more meaning to it than I originally intended. Like it was really, meaningless other than just a conversation.
Okay.
Like, hey, she's cute. Yeah. No. Okay. Like, whatever. That's fine. I understand now that this is completely unacceptable in our relationship. And that's okay. I apologize for hurting your feelings.
It's fine. You don't need to apologize. Like, it's fine.
I do need to apologize. I hurt your feelings. Your feelings are still real. I understand you have feelings about this. I get that part of it. But I also feel like you're trying to like extract information out of me. And I think that's where a lot of that argument came from the other night, is you're like trying to pull information out of me that doesn't exist.
Okay. I'm thinking, or I'm just whatever, processing. I need a minute. Whatever. It's probably just BPD bullshit anyway.
I mean,
whatever. It literally just comes from being in a fucking household like mine. Because everything anyone says has to have a million layers of meaning to it, and you gotta figure it out on your own. So
I gotcha. You've said that before, and that's okay. That's a fair statement.
And to me, that statement was significant. So like it really did not compute, and I'm still having trouble not computing that with a level of meaning. Because to me, that's a significant statement. Because there's like, it's not like I don't find people attractive, but I literally just drop it, and I don't feel any need to discuss it. Like, I don't think it'd be useful. I'm not attacking you right now. I'm just saying this is why I've never said it. Because it just doesn't matter to me. Or whatever. I don't feel it would have a purpose. And it's never been a thing that's been a part of my earlier relationships. I've always been very strictly monogamous. So I don't know, that's why. So you saying that was to me a significant statement that I thought would have more meaning to it. And I couldn't really process that it wouldn't have had that.
Okay. I understand.
To find some other meaning of like why you had said it, because I really didn't understand why you said it without it meaning something.
Okay.
Guess that's the end of that one.
I mean, it doesn't sound like it.
I mean, there's nowhere really else to go from there.
I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know how to, other than I'm just sorry for, I don't know. We were having a good time. I just felt loose. I just felt like I just let go of like inhibitions, I suppose.
Which the goal here is not for you to like control everything you say or like filter everything you say so that it doesn't make me upset. But like, it can't be a situation where you say something that hurts me or whatever that I get offended by, and I can't express that for fear of like ruining our relationship. It's got to be a balance on both sides. I consider what I say to you and whether it would be helpful or not. And I'd like it if you did the same. And I know, whatever, I'm just trying to say going forward, like, I understand that you don't have a filter. Hi, that's part of why I like you. But the things you say matter to me and vice versa. And now we know that that's something I don't like.
Okay. In the future.
So if we could avoid you saying that in the future, that would probably I would really appreciate it.
Okay. Also in the future, if I may make a request.
Mm-hmm.
If instead of like a week-long thing, if you could just say, hey, I don't like you saying that. Like, is that fair as well? Like,
yes, I'm not the only person who created this, though.
Fair enough.
I'm not the problem here.
I'm not saying you're the problem. I'm saying it would be better to tackle these issues if you could be more direct, if you could be a little, I don't know.
Yes, I agree, but I did try and talk to you about this. And that was not the best time for either of us. But I tried really hard to make that work, and it was really just volatile.
It was. But I mean, it was because there was no, you wouldn't take, kind of like now,
Great.
You wouldn't take it for an answer that there was no deeper meaning. Like, it was just a thing. Like, it's just something I said. It just came out of my mouth. Now, in the middle of that, you mentioned something about ruining our relationship.
Yep.
What did you say?
I said, what was that? There was a very clean segue that I was going to make. I mean, LOL. But you mentioned, that my therapist had said something like inappropriate to you, or like that really skewed that perspective. And I was going to say, I find that kind of ironic that you're really hanging on to him saying something like that when like you said something pretty socially inappropriate to me, at least in my opinion. Like that was not okay with me. And then it was wrong for me to take issue with it.
I don't think it's wrong for you to take issue with it.
I understand. That's how I was going to open this, because that's what it felt like. There were a lot of like mean things thrown around the other night.
Yeah, we were fighting.
Yes. I don't like to fight that way, but yeah, that's what happened.
I agree. Apparently, that's just how we fight.
Fun.
So we could just avoid fights then.
It's not possible to completely avoid fights. Like, we're gonna fight. I don't think anyone is capable of being in a relationship without conflict and like fighting sometimes.
Maybe.
I certainly am not. I'm not going to expect that we will never have a fight because I'm just like, I think that's just not human. That's just not possible.
I suppose so.
I mean, I'd like to avoid them as much as possible, obviously, but if I'm going to go through a relationship saying we're never going to fight, then when we do, it's going to be like the worst thing in the whole world. Be catastrophic. Like, that's an unrealistic expectation for another person.
Okay.
And for myself.
I've been in relationships before where instead of fighting, you just disengage or you just drop it for the time being and you talk about it when it's more appropriate.
Well, I couldn't leave in that situation. I talked to my therapist about that too. I couldn't go anywhere.
Right. Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't have to like leave. You just need to like disengage. And we kind of did eventually when we came inside. But I mean, kind of by that point, the damage was kind of done. We probably should have done that at the beginning.
I should have done a worksheet as soon as you said something in the bar.
True. Sure.
I mean, I was not in my faculties to do it, but that's when I should have.
I thought I had suggested it.
No.
Well, I suggested...
or whatever. I don't remember you doing it. I don't think you did.
I explained that this very heavily seemed like BPD behavior to me.
Yeah, I remember the very end of that conversation or whatever. I don't remember what you asked me, but it ended up with me saying like, well, apparently I hate you or something, and then just sobbing. Like, that was horrible. And you said, come on, we need to go inside. You're having BPD feelings. And I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go with you. It was better that I went inside, but I was gone right then. It was too late.
Gone.
Yeah, it was too late.
What do you mean?
Like, I was already, if I'm breaking down that hard, like, I can't come out of that right then. I don't think there's really a way to like get that under control in a way that I can continue to discuss something. It just needs to stop and then come back another time, I guess. Because I'm able to have conversations with you, usually, because we don't have that many fights. Because I catch it early and I sit down and work it out, and then the feelings are taken care of so I can just talk. But I was completely overwhelmed in that moment. And I felt like there was no right thing for me to say. So like I just felt trapped and very, very upset. So I just cried. Like it was too late. I was too overwhelmed. There's a point where it's just, you can't come back from it and like be rational in that moment. And we went inside and I journaled and I listened to music and I did things off my list. But I think it was too late because I hadn't done a worksheet or done those things earlier. But yeah, I made the comment about this ruining our relationship or my relationship, whatever. Because literally I seem to frustrate the fuck out of you by bringing things up more than once, but like, whatever. So, I mean, I need to talk about it, obviously, but I feel really bad for bringing these things up and just making you listen to them more because this seems to really be a source of frustration. In general, not right this second necessarily.
Like, I guess, do you have an example then? I mean, can you back that up?
The haunted episode was literally just because the consensus was that we have talked about it way too many times. And that was going to be the last time that we talked about it because I couldn't let it go.
Yes. Also, the very beginning of that episode I was seriously trying to warn you that this was already going to be a bad episode because I was exhausted and not feel like talking. I should have not done that podcast. That was probably on me that I just should have said no.
Okay.
Because I've listened to a little bit of that podcast now and I just shouldn't have. I apologize for that.
What about it? What do you mean?
I was just not in a good headspace to try and work out anything. I should have just gone to sleep.
Okay. Fair enough.
Or just chilled or something. I mean, it was Saturday night. Like
yeah, I
so
know.
already like when I'm
aware.
Out of my regular schedule, it kind of throws me through a loop.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I just should have said no. I wanted to work on it with you. I wanted to work it out because I love you and because I appreciate you and because I wanted to resolve this. But I guess there's just sometimes when I need to say no, that we need to do this later, and we can do this later. This isn't the end of our relationship.
Yeah.
And a big part of this, I think, and this is just speaking from limited experience, is that you especially can't operate on the basis of, is this going to ruin my relationship?
I think not to do so would be like to completely ignore the fact that other people have breaking points, and I have to like, everyone has to have behaviors that help a relationship. I don't know. I feel like the other end of that spectrum, or like the opposite of that, is to just plow forward with no regard for how your actions are going to affect the other person. And that's just not realistic.
Well, there's got to be some middle ground. I mean,
nonsense. Black and white thinking.
This is definitely super BPD thinking. I mean, because this is your relationship with your dad, that I don't want to ruin this relationship. Like, it almost...
irreparably.
Right. It almost seems like the relationship becomes more important than the person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also speaking from experience. It's like the relationship was more important than me.
Can you expand on that a little bit? Like, I understand what you're saying, but can you go into it a little bit?
I mean, I guess just from listening to you talk, especially, it seems to be the concern is the relationship. And that's the words that you use. That's what you say, you know? And that's what I've heard before. That's what I've experienced before, is that, you know, I'm ruining this relationship. I'm very aware of like my standing in this relationship. Like, I can let you know when I'm being driven away. I don't think, it doesn't seem to me like we need to focus on forcing the relationship so much as we just need to be like with the other person, you know? Like, I think we just need to be more conscious of each other. Because, like, first and foremost, this relationship is like, it's a friendship, you know? Like, we are best friends. Like, that's the goal here, is to maintain that friendship.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have relationships. Like, I don't stick around with old ex-girlfriends. I don't keep them around because the whole reason I'm not dating them is because I couldn't be friends with them.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't keep them around, is because they're not friendship worthy. I mean, we just had an incompatible whatever.
And friendship and relationships have always been very different to me. Like, there's at least whatever in my experience, like, for the way I run my shit, which is not effectively, but here we are. Being friends with someone and being in a relationship with them are separate levels. Or whatever. Like, they're different beasts. I think they're different. Or at least once I'm in them, they feel different.
I don't think they should be.
Well, here they are.
Well, I mean, do you disagree with my position?
No, but I do not go about those relationships the same way. I just don't. I don't know that it's a matter of should. Because, yeah, I agree that they should be probably pretty similar, but I've never really had functional friend relationships. And there's always been an imbalance with me of like, I put more effort into romantic relationships than friendships.
Is that something we need to change?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the romance is super important too, but the romance is almost secondary to the fact that we need to be socially compatible. We need to be very present with each other, which means everything. The romance and the sex is very secondary to the core of the relationship, which is whether or not we can be in the same room together for days on end.
Yeah.
Like, the sex is great and the romance is great, but if that's all it is, then that's a different sort of relationship. And you and I are both craving something much deeper than just a sexual relationship.
Yeah.
Hey.
What?
I don't know how to tell you other than like I genuinely really adore you. Like I love you. You're very special to me.
I love you too.
Are you with me right now?
Yes. I'm trying to calm down.
You're definitely, for what it's worth, you're definitely dwelling on these things a lot harder than I am.
What does that mean? Like, what do you mean by that? Is that good or bad?
I don't know. I mean, it could just be because this was a sort of offense against you this time.
Yeah. I mean, really everything we've been going through lately has been against both of us in different ways at the same time.
But since Friday, I didn't realize you were going to bring this up. I'd kind of completely forgotten about Friday night.
Congratulations. You're capable of forgetting things.
Yeah.
Well, because that was really significant to me. And I'm not saying it wasn't to you, but that like really hurt. That was a really difficult night for me.
Just the initial phrase, you mean, or the entire fight?
Everything that came after that, the whole argument out on the deck, that was awful.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as the haunted episode, but like there was some nasty shit that I really didn't, that I said too, probably. But I felt very helpless in a lot of the things that were said. And that was also the first like time my therapist and I talked about this, like 80% of the time I use my tools. You know, I handle my shit and I react well and do the things that I know I should and that help me 80 or so percent of the time. But that was, but that was one time where I didn't use my tools and then it was too late. And then I had a full blown fucking freak out. That's what happens for people with BPD who don't manage it. That's what it looks like all the time. Yeah. That's why I work so hard at what I do. I don't like having a full blown episode, and I haven't in a really long time. And it was really not fun to go through. And I don't like that happened. And I'm like, I just shat on myself in my therapist's office for the first 10 minutes of my last session of like, I fucked everything up and I didn't do what I was supposed to. And why would anyone want to be around me when I can't handle myself? Which, I mean, and I didn't even like do a worksheet. I journaled, but it was just getting all the nasty things in my head out on paper so I could leave them alone. I just request going forward, please don't tell me that I hate you.
I think I said it feels like you hate me. And maybe not, maybe.
I don't know.
But.
That, like, I'm having a really hard time leaving alone.
Fair enough. I mean, but I stand by my statement that there have been very recently, more than one time, there have been a few times now where you've had like core opposition to like me personally.
I maintain that I don't think, whatever.
No, continue that thought.
I'm making steps to move past trauma and difficulty that I have with drugs and making a positive effort to do that doesn't mean I hate you.
Right. We covered this already.
No, because that's what we were talking about. Like, I hate that you use drugs, which is not true at all. And that's what that was in reference to, is that I hate some core part of you because I personally have issues, like past issues, whatever, with other drugs. But I'm not saying I don't like you. I'm not saying I'm breaking up with you. I'm not saying I will never, ever work to make this come together. I'm very, very hurt by the fact that you take that to mean I hate you. And that despite the efforts I am currently making and planning to make with you, like, why doesn't that matter? Why does that mean I hate you? I feel like I have no power against that phrase or like that statement. You know, I can't prove you wrong. If I don't like that you, or if I can't be in the room right now with my current whatever, which is fluid and subject to change. You know, I can't prove that I don't hate you. That's just the law of the land, and I'm wrong if I say otherwise.
I disagree.
Go on, please.
These are just issues that we need to move past. If you will forgive me for saying that, and we can move past it. I apologize for saying that you hate me. I don't think that you hate me, but you've had a lot of issues with. I feel like I've set you off a lot recently, and I've triggered you a lot.
Don't use that word, because then we'll just talk about how stupid millennial I am.
That's fine. My therapist uses the word triggered, so
do I, but it comes up as a joke often, so let's just whatever.
Well, okay. We're going to use that word because that's what it is.
Fine.
But I trigger you a lot. And that bothers me. Just me personally. It's not you. It's not like I don't have negative feelings about you. It's just I don't want to do that. Like, I mean, I feel guilty for making you feel bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I feel like it's something I'm trying to work towards too. But also at the end of the day, I mean, I'm just very offensive. I'm controversial. I'm just a dick. I'm
aware of that. And when it's expressed in a way that we can like discuss in a way that's not personal, then that's fine, because we do that often. But
Yeah.
it's been personal lately.
Personal.
Yeah, they've been like personal attacks on both ends. It's not just like a discussion. It's, directly applied to something going on between us.
Right.
Just personal. I don't know. And I appreciate you saying, I mean, this is probably going to sound weird, but I appreciate you telling me that you feel guilty. Not to be like, hell yeah, feel bad about it. But I think that's, I think it's manifesting as something as like, as a defensive thing, is like, why are you upset? Like, you feel bad about making me feel upset, so you get upset that I'm upset. And then I feel like I'm the bad guy because that's what I do. I think there's just a lot of like layers. Well, there's probably not. Maybe I'm just adding meaning, whatever. But you said that in a text the other day, is like, I've been feeling guilty about like you making sacrifices lately. Like, thank you for saying that. Because I think that's the root of like why this is getting us both up in arms so much, is that we feel guilty. I feel guilty for having feelings, and you feel guilty for quote making me feel a certain way.
Sure.
And I haven't let it go because I'm really not willing to just be like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll agree that let's just leave it on like I hate you and move on from that, but if that's not what you mean, then let's move on.
Yeah, I apologize and I request forgiveness.
You're going to have to wait 3 to 5 business days for that to go through our contrition department.
I want to speak to your manager.
I am the manager. Welcome to hell. I am the manager. Okay.
Okay, what?
What? I feel like that was closed. What?
You actually have to say, I forgive you for saying that. That's part of it.
Oh,
that's what forgiveness is.
No, sorry. I just moved on. Sorry. I forgive you for saying that.
Thank you. I didn't mean it.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for telling me you didn't mean it. I forgive you.
Thanks.
Because I say things I don't mean to, and I want forgiveness too. Hashtag empathy or whatever.
Not me.
Yeah, I know it.
I love you.
I love you too. All right, that sucked. I'm done.
Okay.
Feelings are the worst.
That's why I don't have any.
That's why I have all of them.
Maybe that's why I'm attracted to people with personality disorders. It's because they have feelings and I don't.
No, that's what I fucking told you. Because you were with your ex-wife for like 15 years and y'all are both avoidant. And in my very limited social experience with her, she says like 5 words, if anything, and shows no emotion. So after 15 years of that, I'm sure it is actually very attractive for someone to be like passionate and bubbly and have a lot of feelings and ambition. Because people with BPD have a lot of life.
True.
It takes a special breed to handle it. But we have a lot of life and a lot of energy and a lot of like care. So I can imagine after a dearth of all those things, it'd be very attractive to have someone who's like bubbling with it.
So here's an issue that hasn't come up yet.
Oh God, okay.
So these issues that we're having, like let's say that we like hypothetical situation, like we're at like a friend's house, we're in a big social situation, and then like something comes up, I just say something offensive and that triggers you. Like, how do we prevent a complete meltdown, like from having to like leave said social situation instead of just being like accepting that sometimes I'm just crass?
Well, we didn't need to leave. You suggested we leave. Had you given me a few more minutes, I probably would have chilled out or like just been able to hold it.
Okay.
I didn't say we need to get out of here right now and talk about this. I was preparing to just shove it for a minute.
Okay.
Until we got home. And usually I'll just pull out my phone and do a worksheet.
Okay.
When I'm not 5 alcohol drinks in.
Is there an appropriate way for me to tell you to do a worksheet without risking further damage?
If you tell me really early, no. Or wait, that was the wrong wording. If you tell me really early, there will not be more damage. And when I take care of myself, which I don't think I've really been doing very much lately, then I won't really need you to tell me to do one.
Okay. I mean, like, I don't want it to be like a situation where like I'm misreading the need for a worksheet and I'm like, maybe you need to do a worksheet, and then that just like, what the fuck? You know, like then you'd blow up.
Wait, what?
Like, what if I tell you to do a worksheet at an inappropriate time? What if I think maybe you are having BPD feelings and you're not, but then my suggestion that you are is what causes...
Oh my God.
You can tell I've had a girlfriend before.
With BPD.
Or just in general.
I guess.
Sometimes you may suggest
something. I have no reference for like people without personality disorders, so I'll take your word for it.
No, sometimes you just suggest something that was inappropriate, apparently, and then you have to fight about it for a weekend.
Can we stop with those, please?
Yes.
Thanks.
That was a joke.
Yeah, I got it.
But that's not, I mean, that's, my joke was that that's not the first time that's happened to me either.
Oh, I thought you were just joking about me. I'm like, well, I'm done joking about that because it wasn't funny to me.
Yes, but also...
If it was about someone else, then sure.
Sure, we'll go with that. I mean, yes, though. I mean, yes. It's almost universal. Like, except for said ex-wife. My ex-wife and I never fought.
Well, yeah, because y'all didn't spend a lot of time together.
Fair enough.
You and I see each other like every other day, pretty much without fail.
Yeah.
And we talk incessantly, which I love. But that's why my therapist was saying, like, maybe y'all just need to take 24 hours and decompress and just leave each other alone for a minute.
Yeah.
And that's why we didn't talk a whole bunch. We still talked, but I just was less responsive.
Yeah.
For, I don't know, like, we didn't even make it 24 hours. It was like 16.
Yeah.
But I needed to step back. And I think it helped a lot. At the end of it, I felt more like I had at the beginning of our relationship or whatever, beginning of getting to know you, where like, because I came over, you invited me over the next night and you had plans with your friend to go out to the bar. I'm like, good, go.
Right.
You know, I think at the beginning, I can't speak for you, but I was definitely more like, go do things without me. See you later. Like, I love you. Talk to you soon. But go get ample time with other things that you care about. And I wasn't anxious about it. I was just more independent at the beginning. Which I'm not trying to be like, haha, dependence and intimacy are dumb. But as time goes on, I get more wrapped up in like, I want to talk to you all the fucking time. Which you obviously same, because you call me a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But there's just been less encouragement of go do things without me, talk to you in a couple hours, see you at home.
Right.
So at the end of those few hours, I felt more like, yeah, go, like do something. I love you. I'll see you soon. But I want to do this inside, and it's important that you go do something else, that you go do what you had planned. Because I stayed home and did art, and it was important and good. So I don't know. I think I've just lost some of that security over time, just because that's who I am as a person. Perhaps more of a focus on a relationship than a person. I've never heard it put like that before.
That's how I feel.
I know. I like it. I'm saying I've never heard it put like that before. I think it puts a different perspective on it. Because I don't think I can date someone without being friends with them. But I've historically had really shit friend relationships or just really not engaged friend relationships. And recently that's on me. In the last couple of years, that's on me. But I don't know.
That's probably about all. I mean, is that about all?
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to talk about. Like in the realm of relationship podcasting.
Sure. I apologize to your therapist for calling him sleazy.
Hi, my therapist.
And I don't think he actually is a sleazy person. I don't know that much about him, but
that's like all that you do know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that's really stuck with me because it was the first thing that he physically said to me. So aside from calling me an irresponsible father.
He didn't say that to you. He said that to me, and then I used poor judgment to say it to you.
I mean, it's fine. I appreciate no filter.
Apparently. All right, Ryan. All right.
Nice.
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 Thank you. Anyway.
Cool, just cool, into the mouth.
That's about all.
Nice. Anyway, that's
Peace out.
Peace out.
Hey.